You're back to the show. Let's go. Let's move to Kenya, where the central bank under the governor, Dr. Kamau Tuje, has revised the country's growth outlook slightly lower to 5.2% from 5.4% previous. On Tuesday, the country's monetary policy team also decided to lower the benchmark interest rate slightly by 25 basis points into a single-digit region of 9.75%. Let's listen to part of the rate decisions announcement by the central bank governor.
10% is for the 364-day treasury bills, and the 8.5 is for the 182-day treasury bills, and the rate for the 91-day treasury bills is here shown as 8.3. In the last auction, these rates also again declined, for the 364 to below 10%. And there was also a slight decline in both the 182-day and also the 91-day T-bills. So commercial bank lending rates have continued to decline gradually, partly reflecting the reduction in those short-term rates that I just mentioned. And we have seen the average lending rate decline from 17.2% in November of 2024 to 15.4% in May of 2025. With the reduction in those rates, and also with the easing of monetary policy by the central bank, the growth in there's been a recovery in broad money growth from minus 1.4% earlier this year. We have seen the M3 money supply continue to grow every month, and by the end of May, we see an increase in broad money supply of 8.2%. And similarly, for the credits to the private sector reached a low of minus 2.9 around January of 2025, and we have seen a steady improvement, and as at May had reached a positive 2%. So to summarize on monetary developments, the growth in money supply has improved further in April and May, partly reflecting increased net lending to the government, improved lending to the private sector, and diminishing impact of exchange rate valuation effects on the private sector credit. Growth in lending to private sector increased in May 2025, partly reflecting increased credit demand and the dissipation of exchange rate valuation effects on the foreign currency denominated loans. The short-term interest rates have declined in line with the reductions in the central bank rate. And finally, commercial banks' average lending interest rates declined further in April and May 2025, with a continued decline in short-term rates expected to transmit further into lower lending rates and improve lending to the private sector. Turning now to the balance of payments. The balance of payments is projected to be in surplus both in 2025 and in 2026, mainly reflecting expected improvement in the improved surplus in the financial account. For 2024 and also 2025, the current account deficit is for 2024 was minus 1.551 billion dollars, and that was fully financed by the inflow of financial and capital account, which was $1.778 billion. And you can see there at the 4 lines from the bottom, the overall balance of payments. We see a very large surplus in 2024 of $1.459 billion, and that helped us to build our level of international reserves in 2024. For 2025, again, we have a still current account deficit of $2 billion, but we also have and expect financial inflows of roughly $2.55 billion, and therefore expect the overall balance of payments of about $1 billion. Regarding the current account deficit, this has narrowed over the last few years from minus 4.2% to 1.3% in 2024. For the 12 months to April of this year, compared to the 12 months to April of last year, there is a narrowing of the deficit from minus 2.2% to minus 1.8%. For the year as a whole, we expect the current account to stabilize around the minus 1.5%. The goods exports increased by 3.8% in the 12 months to April compared to last year, and this was due to higher domestic exports, particularly horticulture and coffee. And for the year as a whole, we expect an increase in exports of around 5.1%. Just to disaggregate the growth of exports in the first 4 months of this year, domestic exports actually increased by 11% in the first 4 months of 2025. However, re-exports were lower by 23.3% in the period due to lower imports of jet fuel in terms of quantities, but also in terms of prices. And therefore, the overall result was for total exports to actually decline by around 11%. But the important point here to note is the significant performance of domestic exports increasing by 11%.